The blueprint of becoming, setting intentions and creating goals that serve your aspirations. Before the first seed touches soil, the wise gardener has already walked the garden paths in imagination, seeing where sunlight falls and shadows linger, understanding that conscious design transforms scattered potential into purposeful abundance. The abundance consciousness you've cultivated has transformed your relationship to possibility itself. Where once you saw obstacles, opportunities now reveal themselves. Where limitation once reigned, creative solutions emerge from patient observation and collaborative thinking. You've learned to trust your body's wisdom about what truly serves your well-being while reading your circumstances with practical clarity that honors both constraints and potential. Yet standing in this expanded landscape of possibility, you face a beautiful paradox. The very richness of options that abundance consciousness reveals can create its own form of overwhelm. Your somatic awareness points toward multiple authentic desires. Your landscape reading reveals numerous pathways that could lead toward greater fulfillment. Your mind, freed from scarcity's tunnel vision, sees countless directions that feel both exciting and achievable. This abundance of possibility requires the most sophisticated element of conscious creation, the ability to channel infinite potential into focused direction that creates tangible movement toward the life that would bring you most alive while cultivating the sustainable contentment that emerges from living in alignment with your deepest nature. Like a master architect who must transform soaring vision into practical blueprints, you need frameworks for converting inspiring possibilities into daily actions that accumulate over time into profound transformation. Without this focusing capacity, even the most profound insights about abundance and authentic desire remain beautiful abstractions that never quite manifest as lived reality. Dreams without structure remain dreams. Vision without implementation remains inspiration. But most importantly for our journey together, scattered efforts rarely create the kind of sustainable inner peace and baseline contentment that emerges from a life consciously designed around authentic principles and meaningful purposes. The nature of authentic intention. Imagine yourself standing at a crossroads where multiple paths stretch before you, each leading toward different versions of your possible future. One path promises financial security through work that feels safe but uninspiring. Another offers creative fulfillment with uncertain economic prospects. A third involves serving others while requiring skills you're not sure you possess. Without clear internal guidance, you might choose based on external pressures, immediate comfort, or what seems most acceptable to others. Now imagine approaching this same crossroads with authentic intention as your compass. Instead of feeling torn between competing options, you have clear internal direction about who you want to become and how you want to contribute during your time on Earth. The choice becomes less about picking the right path and more about recognizing which option best serves the person you are becoming and the purposes that energize your deepest nature while contributing to the contentment and well-being you're cultivating, not just for yourself, but for all whose lives you touch. This is the transformative power of authentic intention. It provides North Star guidance that remains consistent across changing circumstances, while infusing daily choices with meaning that sustains motivation through inevitable challenges and creates the kind of steady inner peace that doesn't depend on external conditions aligning perfectly. Unlike goals that focus on specific outcomes to achieve, intentions focus on qualities of being to embody in ways of engaging with life that reflect your deepest values regardless of external circumstances. This distinction proves crucial for contentment cultivation because external outcomes remain partially beyond your control, while internal intentions can be honored consistently through conscious choice about how you respond to whatever life presents. When Maya sets the intention to approach my career with curiosity and contribution rather than anxiety and competition, she establishes direction that can guide decisions about job applications, professional development, networking activities, and responses to workplace challenges regardless of specific outcomes these choices produce. More importantly, honoring this intention creates immediate satisfaction and peace because it aligns her daily experience with her authentic values, generating contentment that doesn't require external validation or perfect circumstances to sustain. True intentions create what researchers call goal priming, where your unconscious mind begins recognizing opportunities and resources that support your chosen direction while filtering out distractions that could derail progress toward authentic aspirations. Your brain literally begins rewiring itself to notice possibilities that align with genuine intentions while becoming less reactive to circumstances that don't serve authentic development, creating the calm clarity that supports sustainable contentment. The 6 mirror method, discovering your authentic intentions. Most people struggle to identify authentic intentions because they've learned to prioritize external expectations over internal wisdom, social approval over personal truth, insecurity over meaning. The process of rediscovering authentic direction requires patient exploration that moves beyond surface preferences to uncover the deeper purposes that generate sustainable motivation, genuine satisfaction, and the lasting peace that comes from alignment with your essential nature. The first mirror, values recognition. Imagine yourself at age 85 looking back over a life well lived. You feel profound satisfaction not because everything went according to plan, but because you consistently honored the principles that mattered most to you. What values guided your choices throughout the decades? What qualities did you embody that made you proud of who you became? How did you contribute to the world in ways that felt authentically meaningful? This reflection often reveals core values that may have become obscured by practical pressures or social expectations. Notice which accomplishments in this imagined life review provide lasting satisfaction versus those that feel hollow despite external success. Pay attention to how you treated others during challenging periods, what you stood for when it required courage, and how you used your unique gifts to serve purposes larger than personal advancement while maintaining the inner peace that comes from integrity. Your authentic intentions will align with these deeper values rather than superficial preferences that change with circumstances. Values like integrity, creativity, service, learning, connection, or justice provide stable foundation for intentions that can guide choices across different life phases while creating the consistency that supports baseline contentment. The second mirror, energy assessment. Consider the activities and interactions that consistently energize you versus those that drain your vitality, regardless of external rewards or social approval. Notice which tasks you lose track of time while doing, which conversations leave you feeling more alive, which environments support your natural enthusiasm and authentic engagement. Imagine spending a day engaged primarily in activities that align with your natural energy patterns, using your strengths in service of purposes you care about, surrounded by people who appreciate and encourage your authentic expression. How does this imagined day feel in your body? What qualities would you be embodying? How would you be contributing? Notice how alignment with authentic energy creates not just productivity, but profound satisfaction and inner peace. Your authentic intentions will create expansion rather than contraction when you contemplate embodying them, generating energy rather than requiring constant willpower to maintain, creating the sustainable vitality that supports long-term contentment. The third mirror, legacy contemplation. Imagine that you could leave behind one gift to future generations through how you lived your life, the example you set, and the contributions you made while you were here. What would you want that gift to be? How would you want to be remembered not for what you achieved, but for who you were and how you engaged with the opportunities and challenges that came your way? This contemplation often reveals intentions that extend beyond personal benefit to include service to family, community, or causes larger than individual advancement. The legacy perspective helps distinguish between ego-driven goals that serve self-image and authentic intentions that serve purposes worthy of your life energy and unique capabilities while creating meaning that transcends personal satisfaction to contribute to collective well-being. Notice which potential legacies generate genuine emotion and deep satisfaction versus those that feel impressive but empty. Your authentic intentions will connect to contributions that feel meaningful regardless of external recognition or reward, creating the kind of significance that provides lasting contentment. The fourth mirror, seasonal and life phase wisdom. Consider where you currently are in the natural cycles and seasons of your life. Are you in a spring phase of new beginnings and planting seeds? A summer season of active growth and flowering? An autumn period of harvest and integration? A winter time of rest, reflection, and internal preparation for what wants to emerge? Different life phases call for different intentions. The intentions that serve a person in their 20s, exploring identity and possibility, differ from those that guide someone in their 40s, balancing family responsibilities with personal development, or those that inspire someone in their 60s, harvesting life experience while preparing for their next chapter. Young parenthood might call for intentions around presence, patience, and creating loving foundation for family life. Mid-career phases might emphasize mastery, contribution, and mentoring others. Later life phases might focus on wisdom sharing, legacy creation, and spiritual deepening. Honoring these natural rhythms creates intentions that work with, rather than against, the developmental tasks and opportunities present in your current life season. The fifth mirror, relational and community context. Reflect on how your personal intentions can serve not only individual development, but also the well-being of your family, community, and the larger world. The most fulfilling intentions often create positive ripple effects that extend far beyond personal benefit while honoring your interconnection with all life. Consider how your unique gifts, perspectives, and capabilities could contribute to healing, justice, beauty, or wisdom in ways that feel authentic to your nature. Notice how intentions that serve both individual fulfillment and collective well-being generate deeper satisfaction than purely self-focused goals. The parent who sets intentions around modeling emotional intelligence serves both personal growth and their children's development. The professional who intends to bring creativity and integrity to their work serves both authentic expression and organizational culture. The citizen who intends to engage consciously with environmental and social challenges serves both personal meaning and planetary well-being. The sixth mirror, sacred and spiritual dimensions. Explore how your intentions might connect you with sources of meaning and purpose that transcend individual personality and temporal concerns. This doesn't require religious belief, but involves considering how your life choices might align with what feels most sacred, mysterious, or spiritually nourishing in your experience. What calls to you from the deepest levels of being? What fills you with reverence, awe, or sense of connection to something larger than yourself? How might your intentions honor these sacred dimensions while remaining practical and achievable within daily life? This mirror often reveals intentions around service, creative expression, spiritual practice, nature connection, or justice work that feel less like personal goals and more like responses to what life is asking of you. These intentions often provide the most sustainable motivation because they connect with purposes that feel both deeply personal and universally meaningful. The dance between intentions and goals, creating sustainable contentment. Picture two gardeners approaching their plots with different strategies. The first gardener, inspired by beautiful garden magazines, plants flowers randomly based on what looks appealing without considering soil conditions, climate requirements, or how different plants might work together. Despite good intentions, the garden lacks coherence, and many plants struggle because they are not suited to their environment or compatible with their neighbors. The second gardener begins with clear vision about the kind of garden they want to create, perhaps a space that provides both beauty and nourishment, that supports local wildlife while requiring sustainable maintenance. That reflects their aesthetic preferences while serving practical family needs. From this overarching intention, they choose specific plants, design layout, and plan care routines that serve the larger vision while creating measurable progress toward their goals. Your intentions function like the second gardener's vision, providing coherent direction that ensures your specific goals work together harmoniously rather than competing for limited time and energy. Without this integrating intention, even successful goal achievement can feel scattered or ultimately unsatisfying because individual accomplishments don't contribute to a larger sense of meaning and purpose that supports lasting contentment. Just as DNA contains genetic blueprint that guides organism development while allowing infinite variations through environmental interaction, your authentic intentions contain essential information that should guide all your specific goals while permitting tremendous creativity in how you choose to manifest deeper purposes. When David holds the intention to contribute meaningfully to healing and well-being in my community, this core purpose could express itself through goals as diverse as becoming a healthcare provider, starting a community garden, teaching stress reduction techniques, creating art that inspires resilience, advocating for environmental protection, or building businesses that serve human flourishing. The intention provides consistency and direction, while goals provide variety and specificity, creating the coherent progress that builds sustainable satisfaction. The Enhanced Alive Framework. Goals that cultivate contentment. The Alive Framework ensures that your goals serve conscious creation rather than unconscious achievement seeking that often generates external success without corresponding internal satisfaction. Like a master chef's careful ingredient selection, each element contributes essential qualities while working harmoniously with other components to create outcomes that truly nourish your development and support lasting contentment. Aligned with your authentic nature and current reality. Aligned goals honor both your authentic interests and capabilities while respecting current life circumstances and resource availability. They stretch your abilities without ignoring practical constraints that could create unnecessary stress if overlooked during planning phases. More importantly, for contentment cultivation, aligned goals feel energizing rather than depleting to contemplate and pursue. They work with your natural rhythms, personality patterns, and life circumstances rather than requiring you to become someone fundamentally different to achieve them. Alignment includes honest assessment of energy patterns, time availability, financial resources, and existing commitments, rather than setting goals based on idealized assumptions about effort you can sustain indefinitely. The goal that honors your actual life while challenging you appropriately creates satisfaction through the pursuit process itself, not just through eventual achievement. Life-giving and intrinsically motivating. Life-giving goals generate energy and enthusiasm that sustain effort over time without requiring constant external motivation or willpower. They connect with your authentic interests, values, and aspirations in ways that make the journey feel meaningful regardless of specific outcomes. Consider the difference between exercising because you authentically value health and vitality versus exercising because you should lose weight or look better. The first finds energy in the activity itself, while the second endures it as necessary suffering. Life-giving goals transform effort into expression, creating positive associations that support continued engagement while building the intrinsic satisfaction that serves contentment cultivation. Integrated with your whole life. Integrated goals consider how achievement will affect all areas of your life rather than optimizing for single outcomes while ignoring potential costs to relationships, health, or other important domains. They enhance rather than compete with your overall well-being and life satisfaction. The career goal that requires sacrificing family relationships, the health goal that creates social isolation, or the financial goal that eliminates time for rest and renewal often prove hollow even when achieved successfully. Integrated goals strengthen your entire life ecosystem while moving you towards specific accomplishments. Values-based and meaningful values-based goals serve principles and purposes you care about genuinely, rather than external expectations or social pressures. They connect with your deepest sense of meaning and contribute to purposes that feel worthy of your life energy and unique capabilities. These goals create what researchers call meaningful motivation, where effort feels worthwhile because it serves principles in people you care about genuinely, rather than only immediate personal gratification. This meaning dimension provides resilience during challenging phases while creating satisfaction that transcends specific achievements. Evolving and responsive to growth. Evolving goals remain open to modification based on new information, changing circumstances, and insights gained through progress toward initial objectives. This flexibility prevents rigid attachment to specific strategies or timelines that may prove inadequate while maintaining commitment to underlying intentions and purposes. The evolving quality includes regular review and adjustment processes that assess whether current strategies work effectively, whether timelines remain realistic, given actual progress rates, and whether goals still serve authentic intentions as understanding deepens through experience. This responsiveness ensures that goals continue serving contentment cultivation rather than becoming sources of stress or disconnection from authentic development. Natural timing and sacred rhythms. Just as wise gardeners plant different seeds at different times according to natural seasons, intentions and goals have optimal timing that honors both internal readiness and external circumstances. Understanding these rhythms transforms goal setting from arbitrary deadline creation into conscious collaboration with the natural flow of development and life circumstances. Seasonal wisdom for intention. Setting spring energy naturally supports intentions around new beginnings, creative projects, relationship building, and fresh starts. This is ideal timing for intentions that require initial momentum, enthusiasm, and openness to possibility. Summer energy aligns with intentions around growth, expansion, active engagement, and bringing projects to fruition. Summer intentions often focus on building on foundations established in spring while maintaining sustainable effort. Autumn energy resonates with intentions around integration, harvest, completion, and preparation for rest. This season calls for intentions that help you gather wisdom from experiences while releasing what no longer serves. Winter energy supports intentions around reflection, rest, internal development, and preparation for future growth. Winter intentions often focus on spiritual practice, learning, healing, and visioning for what wants to emerge. Life transitions timing. Major life transitions, career changes, relationship shifts, geographic moves, family changes, health challenges, or spiritual awakenings create natural opportunity for intention renewal. These threshold moments often reveal new priorities while creating space for fresh direction. However, immediately following major transitions, goals may need to remain modest while you adjust to new circumstances. The period following divorce, job loss, illness, or bereavement often calls for gentle intentions around healing and stability rather than ambitious achievement goals. Recognizing internal readiness. Your body and emotional system provide signals about readiness for new intentions and goals. Periods of high stress, major life changes, or emotional processing may call for maintenance intentions that support stability rather than growth intentions that require additional energy. Notice when you feel genuinely excited about new possibilities versus when you feel you should set new goals due to calendar dates or external expectations. Authentic timing creates natural momentum, while forced timing often generates resistance and eventual abandonment. Meaning making and memory creation, the investment principle. Perhaps the most profound understanding about conscious intention setting involves recognizing how this work creates lasting significance and deep memories that become sources of contentment throughout your life. The intentions you set and pursue don't just change external circumstances. They create meaning and establish memories that provide satisfaction long after specific goals are achieved or circumstances change. Think of time, attention, and energy as precious resources that you actively invest in people, places, things, moments, and circumstances. The more time, attention, and energy that you invest in any aspect of your life, the more meaning you etch into it, the more you find ever deeper significance, and the more deeply rooted memories you create of these experiences. This investment principle explains why the vacation you plan carefully and anticipated eagerly often creates more lasting satisfaction than the more expensive trip you took on impulse. The project you worked on with full engagement creates more meaningful memories than the achievement that came easily. The relationship you tended with conscious attention becomes more significant than connections that remain superficial despite longer duration. The compound interest of conscious investment. When you set authentic intentions and pursue aligned goals, you're making deliberate investments of your most precious resources in directions that serve your deepest values. These investments compound over time, creating layers of meaning that grow richer through sustained attention and commitment. The parent who sets intentions around presence and patience with their children doesn't just improve family relationships. They create profound memories of connection that provide satisfaction for decades. The artist who commits to developing their craft doesn't just improve technical skills, they build a relationship with creativity that becomes a source of meaning throughout their life. The professional who approaches work with intentions around contribution and integrity doesn't just advance their career, they create memories of meaningful service that provide contentment independent of external recognition or advancement. Creating significance through conscious choice, random experiences, however pleasant, rarely create the deep significance that emerges from consciously chosen investments of attention and energy. The decision to pursue specific intentions transforms ordinary activities into meaningful expressions of your values while creating memories embedded with significance. The daily walk becomes a practice of presence and health commitment. The conversation with family members becomes intentional relationship building. The work project becomes an opportunity to embody integrity and creativity. Even challenging experiences gain meaning when approached through authentic intentions, transforming difficulties into growth opportunities and memories of resilience. Building legacy through daily investment. Your intentions don't just guide individual goals, they create the ongoing legacy of how you choose to invest your life energy. Each day you honor authentic intentions. You're building a life that will feel meaningful in retrospect while creating the present moment satisfaction that comes from alignment between values and actions. This legacy extends beyond personal satisfaction to influence family members, colleagues, community members, and even strangers who witness your example. The ripple effects of conscious intention setting create meaning that extends far beyond individual achievement while contributing to the collective well-being that supports everyone's contentment. Integration, living your blueprint for sustainable contentment. As you complete this foundation of conscious creation, recognize the remarkable framework you've constructed for transforming authentic desires into lived reality while cultivating the sustainable contentment that emerges from alignment between inner truth and outer expression. You've learned to discover genuine intentions that honor your deepest nature while serving purposes larger than personal advancement. You've developed skills for creating goals that stretch your capabilities without overwhelming your system, while building momentum through consistent progress toward meaningful outcomes. This integration of visionary intention with practical goal setting creates a sustainable approach to conscious creation that honors both your authentic aspirations and realistic constraints while generating progress that feels both meaningful and achievable. Unlike approaches that rely solely on inspiration or only on discipline, this framework creates synergy between inner wisdom and outer action that serves long-term development and lasting peace. The contentment you seek emerges not from reaching particular destinations, but from engaging consciously with the journey itself. Maintaining alignment between daily choices and authentic values while contributing meaningfully to purposes that extend beyond individual satisfaction. Each intention honored through conscious choice strengthens neural pathways toward authentic living. Each goal achieved through sustainable effort builds confidence in your capacity to create positive change through persistent commitment to meaningful development. The transformation you're creating happens through consistent small choices that gradually align your daily experience with authentic nature while building capabilities that serve both individual flourishing and collective well-being. The peace you're cultivating comes not from eliminating challenges, but from developing capabilities and wisdom to navigate difficulties skillfully while maintaining connection to what matters most deeply. Your journey continues into the art of daily cultivation, where conscious creation becomes conscious living through practical wisdom that honors both individual authenticity and collective interconnection. The foundation is complete, the direction is clear, and the construction begins with your very next choice, your next breath, your next opportunity to embody the person your deepest wisdom knows you can become, while contributing to the healing and awakening our world needs through countless individual transformations toward greater consciousness, compassion, and authentic contentment. The blueprint is ready. The building begins now, in this moment, through this choice. In the eternal present, where all authentic transformation occurs, through the marriage of inspired intention and patient daily practice that creates lives of meaning, purpose, and sustainable contentment that serves both individual flourishing and collective thriving.